Hi guys, let's look at the next exercise of this chapter, Arithmetic Progression. We are starting exercise 10D. Now before we start, let's quickly see what are the new concepts in this exercise. So in case we have an AP of 3 terms and we need to figure out the AP, then it is advisable that you take the 3 terms as A minus D, A and A plus D. Now don't confuse this with the A and D that we had there. Here, my first term is A minus D, second term is A, and third term is A plus D. Why are we taking it like this? We are taking it like this because usually we would be given the sum of 3 terms. So if the sum of 3 terms is given, let's say the sum of 3 terms is equal to, let's say 30. Right? So if the sum of 3 terms is equal to 30, if I take these 3 terms like this, then negative d and plus d gets cancelled and I'm left with 3a is equal to 30, which means a is equal to 10. So using one equation itself, I will be able to find the value of a. And then if another piece of information is given, then I would be able to calculate the value of d as well. So the logic of doing this is to be able to cancel the common difference when I add or subtract these terms. So if you have 3 terms, which basically an odd number of terms, you should take it as a minus d, a and a plus d. Again, if you have an odd number of terms, which is t5, so if there are 5 terms, you should take it as a minus 2d, a minus d, a plus d and a plus 2d. That's basically the same logic. When you add these 5 terms, negative 2d and plus 2d will get cancelled, negative d and plus d would get cancelled. So if there are odd number of terms, which is 3, 5, 7 and so on, then you should take the terms as a minus d, a plus d, or a minus 2d, a minus d, a plus d, a plus 2d. If there are 7, there'll be a minus 3d, a minus 2d, a minus d, a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d. In your grade 10, you will have questions related with 5 terms or 3 terms. You shouldn't get any questions related to 7 terms. Now, in case you have even number of terms, which is if you have 4 terms in an AP, then you should take those terms as a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 3d. Again, my first term is a minus 3d, second term is a minus d, third term is a plus d, and fourth term is a plus 3d. Again, the same logic, if the sum of these 4 terms is given, negative 3d and plus 3d would get cancelled, negative d and plus d would get cancelled. So I would be left with, in the sum, I would be left with 4 times a. Right? So I hope the logic is clear. You should take a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 3d. Similarly, if 6 terms are given, then you would take a minus 5d, a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, a plus 3d, a plus 5d. That's the basic concept. Next, if the same number is added or subtracted from all terms of an AP, then the result is still an AP. This is basically what we've done earlier as well. Let's say if I have an AP which is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, my first term is 1 and the common difference is 2. If I add 4 to all these terms, then this will become 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. If I am adding 4 to it, it's still in an AP. In this case, a is equal to 5, d still remains 2. Same thing can be done if you subtract the same number from all terms. You would get the same answer when you multiply the same number to all terms or divide all terms by the same number. So this is the second property of AP. Next, arithmetic mean. I hope you remember how to calculate the mean. If you need to calculate the mean of 2 terms, so if you want to calculate the mean of A and B, then mean of A and B, which is denoted by x bar, will basically be equal to A plus B upon 2. So arithmetic between two numbers is given by add those 2 numbers and divide them by 2. Good. So now let's look at some questions from this exercise. So the first question that we do is question number 1. It says find 3 numbers in an AP whose sum is 24 and whose product is 440. So this is odd number of term. So we will take them as a minus d, a and a plus d. So let the three numbers be a minus d, a, and a plus d. That's the assumption. Next, we've been given that the sum of these terms is 24. So what's given is a minus d plus a plus d. These are the three terms, and the sum of these three terms is given equal to 24. Negative d plus d get cancelled. 3a is equal to 24. Therefore, a is equal to 8. So we've got the value of a. We need to find three numbers, and the other relationship given is their product is 440. So what we have is a minus d multiplied with a plus d is equal to 440. Let's put the value of a as 8. So I have 8 minus d multiplied with 8 plus d is equal to 440. This is of the form x minus y multiplied with x plus y. Yes, this is x minus y multiplied with x plus y. So this is equal to x square minus y square. So this is 8 square minus d square multiplied with 8 is equal to 440. Let's divide both sides by 8. What I get is 8 square minus d square is equal to 440 upon 8. This is 8 square, that's 64, minus d square is equal to 81. This is 8 into 5, 40, and again 40, so it's 55. So 64 minus d square is equal to 55. 64 minus 55 is equal to d square, which gives me 9 is equal to d square. So therefore d is equal to square root 9, which is equal to plus minus 3. I hope you notice the value of d would be plus 3 or minus 3, which means if the value of d is plus 3, then I have an increasing AP. If I have the value of d as negative 3, then I have a decreasing AP. So find the three numbers. So first number, which is I'm calling T1, was a minus d. So if d is equal to 3, in this case if d is plus 3, then my first term is a. We got a as 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5. T2 is equal to a, which is equal to 8, and T3 is equal to a plus d, which is 5 plus 3. Sorry, 8 plus 3, my mistake. A is 8. 8 plus 3, that's 11. So therefore the numbers are 5, 8, 11. Next, if d is equal to negative 3, I have T1 is equal to a minus d, which is 8 minus negative 3, which is 11. Next, term 2 is equal to a, which is 8, and term 3 is equal to a plus d. In this case, 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. Therefore, numbers are 11, 8, and 5. So we can have an increasing AP 5, 8, or 11, 5, 8, 11, or a decreasing AP which is 11, 8, 5. Good. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we do is question number 2. Question number 2 states the sum of three consecutive terms of an AP is 21. Okay. Let the three terms be a minus d, a, and a plus d. Again, the same logic, the sum of them is given equal to 21. So a minus d plus a plus d is given equal to 21. Negative d plus d gets cancelled. 3a is equal to 21. Therefore, a is equal to 7. Next, the sum of their squares is 165. So we have a minus d whole square plus a square plus a plus d whole square is equal to 165. Right, that's correct. The sum is given equal to 165. I know the value of a. A we just calculated was 7. So 7 minus d whole square plus 7 square plus 7 plus d whole square is equal to 165. Let's open the bracket. This is of the form x minus y whole square. So that's first term square plus second term square minus 2 times first term into second term. This is plus 7 square, which is 49, and this would be the 49 plus d square plus 2 into 7 into d, that's plus 14d, and this is equal to 165. So plus 14d and negative 14d get cancelled. What we have is 49 plus 49 plus 49. So 3 times 49, that's 120 and 27. So that's 147. 147 plus I have a d square, I have another d square. So this is plus 2d square is equal to 165, which means 2 times d square is equal to 165 minus 147. I have 2d square is equal to, that's 57, 18, right? So this is 18, which means d square is equal to 9. Therefore, d is equal to plus minus 3. So again, in this question also, the value of d is plus minus 3. So 3 consecutive terms. Term 1 is a minus d. This is if d is equal to plus 3. In this case, a was 7. So 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. So term 1 is equal to 4. Term 2 is equal to a, in this case 7. And term 3 would be a plus d, in this case 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. Therefore, terms are 4, 7, 10. Now, in case when d is equal to negative 3, the AP is 10, 7, 4. So this time I have a reducing AP. In this case, I have an increasing AP. Perfect. I hope you got the hang of things for this type of questions. Let's look at the next one. The next one that we do is question number 4. It says divide 96 into 4 parts which are in AP, and the ratio between products of their means to the product of their extremes is 15:7. So we are dividing 96 into 4 parts. So this is even number of parts, which means let the 4 parts be a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 3d. So these are the 4 parts. As per the question, the sum of these is equal to 96. So a minus 3d plus a minus d plus a plus d plus a plus 3d. The sum of these 4 terms is given equal to 96. 3d and negative 3d gets cancelled. Negative d and plus d gets cancelled. Oh, I have written 4. This is step 2. Step number 3. This is a, second a, 3a, 4a. 4a is equal to 96. Therefore, a is equal to 24. So we've been able to figure out the value of a. Let's see what is the other relationship which is given. It says ratio between product of their means. So the mean terms, in case you have 4 terms, are the 2 middle terms, and the extreme terms are the 2 terms right in the beginning at the end. So the ratio between the product of their means. So product of their means is a minus d multiplied with a plus d, and the ratio is between the product of means to the product of extremes. So the product of extremes is a minus 3d multiplied with a plus 3d. And the ratio here is given equal to 15/7. Right, let me reconfirm. The product of their means, which is here, product of extremes, which is here, is equal to 15/7. Let's open the brackets. So I have a square minus d square upon a square minus 9d square is equal to 15/7. Let's cross multiply. When I cross multiply, I get 15a square minus 15 into 9, that's 135d square is equal to 7 into a square and 7 into d square, 7a square minus 7d square. So what I get is, oh, this is 15a square, I've written it a. So what I get is 15a square minus 7a square is equal to negative 7d square plus 135d square. 15a square minus 7a square, that's 8a square. This is equal to negative 7 plus 135, that's 128d square. I know the value of a is 24, which means 8 into 24 into 24 is equal to 128d square. So 8 into 24 into 24 upon 128 is equal to d square. Right, that's correct. So 8 into 1, 8 into 1 is 8, 48. So that's 16. 8 into 2 is 16. 8 into 3 is 24. 2 into 1, 2 into 12. Right. So number 12, d square is equal to 12 into 3, that's 36. Therefore, d is equal to plus minus 6. So we need to we need to divide 96 into 4 parts. So therefore, term 1, which is a minus 3d, is equal to a, which is 24 minus 3 into 6, 24 minus 18, that's 6. Next, term 2 is a minus d, which is 24 minus 6, which is equal to 18. Term 3 is a plus d, which is 24 plus 6, and that's 30. And term 4 will be a plus 3d, in this case 24 plus 18, which is 42. Therefore, the parts are 8, not 8, 6. 6, 18, 30, 42. Or in case we had a decreasing AP, it would have been 42, 30, 18, and 6. So these are the 4 parts which are there of this question. Perfect. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we have is question number 5. It says find 5 numbers in AP whose sum is 12.5 and the ratio of the first to the last term is 2:3. This time we have 5, which means odd number of terms. So let the 5 numbers be a minus 2d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 2d. As per the relationship given in the question, the sum is 12.5. So a minus 2d plus a minus d, first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and the fifth term. The sum of these 5 terms is equal to 12.5 plus 2d, negative 2d gets cancelled, negative d and plus d get cancelled. So we are left with 5a is equal to 12.5. Therefore, a is equal to 2.5. That's correct. A is equal to 2.5. Next, let's see what the relationship is given. It says ratio of the first term to the last term. So the first term is a minus 2d. The last term is a plus 2d. Right? A plus 2d. The ratio is given equal to 2 upon 3. That's correct. Let's cross multiply. I get 3a minus 6d is equal to 2a plus 4d. Yeah, let's reconfirm. 3 into a, 3a minus 6d is equal to 2a plus 4d. So that tells me 3a minus 2a is equal to 4d plus 6d. A is equal to 10d. I know the value of a already, which is 2.5 is equal to 10 times d. Therefore, d is equal to 0.25. So let's see what we need to calculate. 5 numbers on an AP. So the 5 numbers are T1 is equal to a minus 2d. In this case, 2.5 minus 2 times 0.25. That 2.5 minus 0.5, and this is equal to 2. So the first term is 2. Next, T2 is equal to a minus d. which is 2.5 minus 0.25, that's 2.25. Next, the third term is a, which is 2.5. Next, fourth term is equal to a plus d, which is 2.5 plus 0.25, that's 2.75. And the last term, t5, is equal to a plus 2d, which is 2.5 plus 0.5, which is 3. Therefore, the terms are 2, 2.25, 2.5, 2.75, and 3. That's our final answer. Good, let's look at the next question. The next question that we have is question number 8. It says find 4 numbers in an AP. So we have even number of terms. So my terms will be a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 3d. The sum is 20 and sum of their squares is 120. Okay. Let the 4 terms be a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d, and a plus 3d. As per the question, the sum of these terms is 20. So a minus 3d plus a minus d plus a plus d, that's the third term, and the fourth term is a plus 3d. The sum of these 4 terms is 20. 3d and negative 3d gets cancelled, negative d and plus d gets cancelled. So 4a is equal to 20. Therefore, a is equal to 5. Now, let's see if any other relationship is given that will help us to figure out the value of d. So that's 1. The sum of their squares is 120. So a minus 3d whole square plus a minus d whole square plus a plus d whole square plus a plus 3d whole square. The sum of this is given equal to 120. Okay, let's open these brackets and see what we get. So this is a square plus 9d square minus 6ad plus, so that's the first term. Next is a square plus d square minus 2ad. That's the, when I open the second bracket. The next term is a square plus d square plus 2ad. That's the third term. And the fourth term is a square plus 9d square plus 6ad. The sum of these is equal to 120. Plus 6ad and negative 6ad gets cancelled. Plus 2ad and negative 2ad gets cancelled. So what do we have? 1a square, second a square, third a square, and fourth a square. So we have 4a square plus 9d square and 1d square. That's 10d square, another d square, 11d square, and 9 more. So that's 20d square is equal to 120. I notice both sides have, all elements have 4 common. Let's divide everything by 4. What I get is a square plus 5d square is equal to 30. That's correct. We know the value of a. So this is 5 square plus 5d square is equal to 30. This is 25 plus 5d square is equal to 30, which gives me 5d square is equal to 30 minus 25, which is equal to 5. So 5d square is equal to 5. Therefore, d square is equal to 1, which means d is equal to plus minus 1. So we've got the value of a, we've got the value of d. Now let's figure out the 4 numbers. So when d is equal to plus 1, my term 1 will be equal to a minus 3d, which is 5 minus 3, which is 2. Term 2 will be equal to a minus d, which is 5 minus 1, which is 4. T3 will be equal to a plus d, which is 5 plus 1, which is 6. And T4 will be 5 plus 3d, which is 5 plus 3, which is 8. Therefore, the terms are 2, 4, 6, 8. Or if we are looking at when D is -1, which means we're looking at a decreasing AP, there'll be 8642. So we get two sets of answers, 2468 and 8642. Perfect. Let's look at the next question, which is the last question that I do with you from this exercise, which is question number 10. It says angles of a polygon are in AP with common difference 5. If the smallest angle is 120 degree, find the number of sides of the polygon. You can put a small star in this question. That's because this question uses a concept that we learned last year. In fact, we will be doing it again this year as well in another chapter, which is sum of all terms of a polygon. So sum of all angles, interior angles of a polygon is given by the formula n minus 2 multiplied with 180 degree. Correct? And sum of all terms of an AP is given by the formula n by 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Perfect. So the number of angles is equal to n in this case. So since they are sum of all angles will be equal to the sum of all terms of this AP, we can equate this, which means what we'll have is n upon 2 times 2a plus n minus 1 times d would be equal to n minus 2 multiplied with 180 degree. In this case, the smallest angle is 120 degree, which means A is equal to 120 degree. Common difference is 5 degree. Let's substitute values and see what we get. So n upon 2 multiplied with 2 into 120 degree plus n minus 1 times 5 is equal to n minus 2 times 180 degree. Let's open the bracket. What we have is n upon 2, 2 into 120, that's 240 degree plus 5n minus 5 is equal to 180n minus 360. Okay, let's cross multiply. So what I have is n multiplied with 5n plus 235. That's correct. 5n and 240 minus 5, that's 235 is equal to 2 multiplied with 180, that's 360n minus 2 multiplied with 360, that's minus 720. Okay, point number 8, this gives me 5n square plus 235n minus 360n plus 720 is equal to 0. I bring 360n on the left hand side and negative 320 also on the left hand side. This gives me 5n square, 235n minus 360, that's 125. So minus 125n plus 720 is equal to 0. I notice that 5 is common on both sides, or in all elements rather. So let's divide all elements by 5, and what I am left with is n square minus 25n plus 5 into 1, 5, 22. That's 5 into 4, 20. That's 20 again, plus 144 is equal to 0. I have a quadratic. I need to find factors of 144, the sum of which would be negative 25. So let's factorize 144 with 272, 236. 4 into 36, no, but it will not give me 25 yet. 218. So 248, 8 into 18, yeah, but 8 minus 18 doesn't give me, or 8 plus 18 doesn't give me 25 yet. It's 2 again, 9. 2, 4, 8, 16. 16 into 9 is 144, and negative 16 into negative 9. Yes, and so negative 16 and negative 9 will give me negative 25. So I've got my factors, negative 16 and negative 9. So this is n square minus 16n minus 9n plus 144 is equal to 0. Grouping it the way I have underlined, n times n minus 16 minus 9 times n minus 16 is equal to 0. So this gives me n minus 16 times n minus 9 is equal to 0, which means n is equal to 16 or n is equal to 9. So if we have a polygon with number of sides 16 or a polygon with number of sides n, then we will have an AP, common difference will be 5, and the smallest angle will be 120 degree. Perfect. That brings me to an end of this video. I have marked a couple of homework questions. Take care, be safe. I'll see you with the next video. If you have any queries, feel free to write into me. Bye bye.